Greetings, and thanks for tuning in to the message today from the Fountain of Life, Grace Springs Church.
Your divine purpose. I want to check with you how much of what he's saying you hearing. How much of what he's saying we hearing. I'm inclusive. How much of what he's saying we hearing. And when we hear what he's saying, how much of what we are hearing are we implementing? Because it's not just to hear, but to work it and put it to use is what makes it a little bit more important. He said that the word that they had, it was not mixed with faith, and so they perished in the wilderness. What action am I taking on what I'm hearing? To hear, some people say they are atheists, they are Satan worshippers. They are this and this. They are liars if they refuse to acknowledge the divinity of God. Because when trouble hits, the first thing they say, oh my God. If God does not really matter, and in time of trouble, why do you just, that's something in man that's connected that is of God, and that thing blow out before they know it. It's called reflex. Psalm 19. So there's no way for man to say, I didn't quite get it. That's a lie. And you see, for me as a person, they think, well, people around me claim that I don't spare anything. That's not 100% true. What I don't spare is somebody to come and become twisting me. I hate that to the last. Don't come and present what, and it's clear. And then I want to move away from such person. Because I don't want to, that can get me quickly. And that is why the Bible talks about iniquity. Knowing what is right and not doing it and covering it as if, hey, okay. The heavens, that's why I'm saying that they know about God, they've heard about him, they understand it's been revealed, and when they decide not to honor him, it's rebelliousness, not that we didn't hear. You got my point? Psalm 19, the heaven declares the glory of God, and the skies proclaim the work of his hand. It's been declared, his glory, the work of his hand has been displayed. Now, day after day, pour forth speech. Night after night, they reveal knowledge. What is revelation? God expressing himself to man. It makes man to be able to come to grasp of what God is giving him. It's revealed, makes known. So how come you don't know? How come I don't know? It's been revealed. And true knowledge of God. Revelation now. True knowledge of God comes only from the revelation of God. Like a flower that received the heat of sun and it just revealed. True knowledge of God comes only by the revelation of God. Revelation is the art of God by which he has made known things otherwise unknowable. So I was listening to John MacArthur and I was saying, guys, this is what I've been thinking I've been thinking about since Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Thursday, it just saying this. I said, oh, yeah. It is the art by which God has made known things otherwise unknown. You can't know it unless he makes it known to you. And when he makes it known, you can't say you don't know. It is God's free, voluntary act of love in disclosing himself to man. It's the revelation. Now, when in verse 2 of chapter 19 Psalm, it says, day after day they pour out speech, night after night they reveal knowledge. Without speech or language, without sound to be heard, their voice has gone out into the earth. their words to the end of the world. In heaven, he has pitched a tent for the sun. Listen to this. He has pitched a tent for the sun in heaven, his handiwork, his workmanship, right? And like a bridegroom, the sun emerges from its chamber, like a champion rejoices to run its course. It rises on one end of the heavens and runs its circuit to the other end. Hear this. Nothing is deprived of this warmth. Whoever is alive that never feel the heat of sun, the work of God, and you still don't give him glory. I want to go to Romans 1, verse 19. Because once we know what he says, we should make a determination on how to respond. Romans 1, for what may be known about God is plain. Verse 19. It's plain. Because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, been understood from his workmanship, so that men are without excuses. It's already plain. You see, it's one thing for you to send a signal. It's another thing for them to miss the signal. But when the signal is targeted towards you and it comes, and like a bright light shone on you, and you can't miss it, you cannot miss it. It said that they have no excuse as to whether you know him or not, in his power, in his might, in his divinity, in his creativity. You can't say you don't know him. I'm still going to take another step to pin this down more. He said, for although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God, nor give thanks to him. But we became futile in our thinking and darkened in our foolish hearts. So although we claim to be wise, we become fools and exchange the glory of immortal God for images of mortal men, and birds and animals and reptiles. Therefore, God gave them over to the desires of their hearts and to impurity of the dishonoring of their bodies with one another. Now, it's saying that when we refuse to acknowledge God for who he is, and instead we turn attention to modern things, and we never get, I say, well, let you go, I'll give you the desire of your heart, which is nothing but darkening the heart and seal the conscience. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 says, in verse 11, it says, he has made everything beautiful and appropriate in its time. He has also planted eternity. I'm reading the Amplified Bible. He has also planted eternity, that is a sense of divine purpose, in the woman's hearts. And in parentheses, it said in bracket, a mysterious longing which nothing under this sun can satisfy except God. He has put a desire, a longing towards God in the heart of man, that nothing can satisfy it except God. He put a craving. Hey, I know that when some women are pregnant, they start to crave for something that people will say, well, that's foolish. But that is what they crave. They want popcorn at 2 a.m. What? And unless you go get popcorn, it's like when there is a craving for something, nothing satisfies that except that thing. But this is it. God, sorry, yeah. I'm a grandfather, so I know all about it. You know, when they're pregnant, it's different people suffer the morning sickness. Some people were spitting, some people were throwing up, some people. Pastor Elias knows that too. Okay, so it says, he has made everything beautiful and appropriate in its time. He has also planted eternity, that is a sense of divine purpose. You cannot be working not knowing what your purpose is in God. It's been revealed to you. Okay? And then it put that divine purpose in humans' hearts, which is a mysterious longing which nothing under the sun can satisfy except God. Nothing can satisfy a pregnant woman's desire for one specific thing except that they get that thing. It's a craving. It's a longing. It must be met. Okay? Now, yet, man cannot find out. We cannot comprehend. We cannot come to grasp what God has done. That is his overall plan. Yet, man cannot find out what God has done from the beginning to the end. He has said it. I know that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and do good while they live. He put eternity in the heart of man. This guy talked about two categories of revelation. One is the manual, the works of his hand, the sun and the moon, and all the things you see. And even as he has made a tent for the sun, and it will rise up from one end and go to the other, and the heat is all, it encapsulates everything in it, the work of his hand. Day after day, it pours out. Day after day, it pours out speech. Night after night, it reveals knowledge. Your revelation for you to catch from outside. Then from inside, he has put eternity in the heart of man. So we have two categories. From the outside, you see it. From the inside, you are longing. So how come you don't know? How come you can't hear? How come? Now the trouble we have is that now we're going to be breaking down. I just want to zoom quickly to, I don't want to forget this, but I want to throw it in. I'm looking for children 12 years and up that we can start to train in different musical instruments. If there's anyone in your house, let them talk to the parent, let the parent talk to the church. Fine. Secondly, by this month, next month, we're going to have a baptismal training time, and we're going to go through water baptism. I just want to throw that in so that I do not forget. There's tendency for that. Now, I want to take time to break down on just this aspect. What do we do with what we've heard? To say that, he said that it's only a madman that will say there is no God. The atheists and whatever the religion they call themselves, they can fool themselves, but they can fool you, but they can't fool themselves. Because when the boat comes to shore, they will know who God is. They refuse to acknowledge him, the sin, and they refuse to give thanks to him for all that he has done for me and you. And he has put eternity so that the whole purpose of life is not just to come, live, eat, drink, dance, die, and then to throw you and put some dirt on you, and that is it. No. There is something greater than this temporary time of living here on earth. After this time is gone, what comes after? Is it how much money I'm able to acquire, how much property I'm able to acquire one after the other? I saw a man yesterday. I went to buy some parts, auto parts. And I saw him. He was well dressed. And he has some like 3 or 4 different kinds of heavy-duty chain like this, bling, bling. And I look at it, I said, this is nothing but a fine dust. Because I always think about life after. Every day, if you can't think about it, you have no purpose. But you are made with a purpose. Not to stay and build everything here in this temple. Who goes to the market and tries to buy a mansion in the market just because you're going to be there for 4 hours and you come back? You have to build something that will keep you warm and cold and you know, some people. Didn't Michael Jackson build an oxygen oxygen, something like a little oxygen house. You don't go to the market and say, "Now I want to secure that. I want to build so that a house in the market." No, you're in the market for 5 hours. You're coming home. You build home. You don't build marketplace. It's a temporary place. When you overstay your time, they will call and say that bring all your selection to it because we are closing the computer into. If you don't go, they will kick you out. So why do you? Who goes to the market and carry a luggage going to the market? That's what you're doing here. This is a temporary place. Are you thinking of home? Are you thinking of what? Which the one? Because when you go to the market, you come back home and you cook the dinner and you sleep and you spend like 12 hours before you go out. But you don't go build that in a shopping center because you're not going to even sleep there. So you don't go build every of your life aspirations here. What is driving you within? What do you intend to? So the story of the rich man and Lazarus. They both lived a temporary life here on this earth. And one was with sore all over his body, and one was living in affluence. But like God has ordained it, their time ran out, and they transitioned. One was carried on the wings of angels to Abraham's bosom, the other one. He received a judgment and was thrown in the fire. And that is where we stay longer than here. So why should we not build there instead of building here? Why should we be building here instead of building there, rather? But I don't know. It's not possible. It's a lie. He has put eternity in the heart of man so that man can be without excuse. When you say you don't know, no. And he says something. Okay, so, preacher, where do we go from here? I'm glad you asked that question. I start with Ephesians 5, from verse 3. Well, you are telling us what we already know. Yes, so the young man, the young ruler, the young rich ruler, that's what we describe to be sure we know what. The young rich ruler that approached Jesus said, "Master, what can I do to inherit the kingdom?" And he said, "Well, you know the law, you know it, so just like this one too, you know it. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not come." He said, "All this I've kept from my mother's womb. Good for you." And he looked at him. Then the next statement was moved with compassion. It was provoked by God's compassion. He said, "Well, this one thing you will do, young man, sell all that you have." Ooh, you just hit a nerve now. That's difficult to do. He said that it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of the needle. And a lot of people have debated on that one before. Camel, the eye of the needle. I'll describe what it means. You know, when you have your camel, you loaded it with a whole lot of stuff coming from the market. Stuff here, we are a merchant. You have all this coming, and the camel is like tall anyway, and now large because of load. And when you get to the gates and you are late, and they have closed the big gate, there's a little pedestrian door, which the merchant now will have to disembark everything off the camel back and make the camel to go on his knees and crawl through the eye of the needle, which is the little. That's what it means. It says it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of the needle than the rich man to go into heaven. Because the wealth is additional load that you're not ready to take off. So your camel and the merchant cannot go through the eye of the needle. You can't release the merchant. You can't take it off. Because that is where the man's heart is, where a man's treasure is, that his heart will be also. So it said, but among you there must not be even a hint of sexual immorality or any kind of impurity or greed, because these are improper for God's holy people. Nor should there be obscenity, foolish talk, and coarse jesting. He said, so just coarse jesting, just making jest and being. Watch what you say to make people laugh. If it contravenes the power of God, you are in trouble. They say something, they say clean jokes. There are dirty jokes. And when you joke to put somebody down, you'll be answering to God. For this, you can be sure, no immoral, impure, or greedy person, such a person is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of such things, God's wrath comes on those who are disobedient. So for those people that never acclaim power, authority, and knowledge to God, they are in total confusion and they are, see, this is it. When you receive a word that is not true, don't spread it until you inquire about it. Otherwise, you will be part of the deceivers ignorantly. You get the point? When you hear something, before you spread it, check every fact. Otherwise, the way deception comes in, and they recruit you to be the one that spreads deception, and you fall into sin ignorantly because you don't know any better. Don't spread what you don't know. That is not in my notes. Therefore, do not be partner with them. For you are once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light. For the fruit of the light consists of all godliness, righteousness, and truth. Don't mix the word of God. Don't be caught in a situation where you are being held up as a liar. Somebody says something to me, and I look at that person and I say, it's not a defender of the truth. It's not a defender of the truth. It's not a defender of the truth. It's not a defender of Jesus. I'm the way, the truth, and what? He is the truth. If I uphold the truth, I'm defending Jesus. If I continue to, so I'm against him. It looks simple, but it has serious consequences. Have nothing to do with fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. It is your presence that will expose the work of the... You see, everything sin hibernates in darkness. And when you appear like Christ has put his light in you, it will reveal the secret work of darkness. Your appearance alone. We were saying that where God is taking us with this end of the last Friday of the month event, you need to hear it and hear it well, because when it starts to happen, you won't say you do not know about it. You see, when we want to do deliverance, you lay hands, you feel anointing, all the time is coming. You only need to appear. You only need to appear. Did he say the work I will do, the work I do, you will do also, and greater than this you will do, because I've gone to the Father, right? Was Jesus just passing by the tomb, the graveside, and then this guy with the legions of demonic agents were in him, right? Did Jesus talk to him? Did Jesus talk to him? No. You guys are afraid to even ask. Did Jesus talk to him? Hiya. What did he do? By the appearance of Jesus, he cried out. What have you to do with us? Have you come? We know you. Have you come before your time? We know who you are. The mighty say, well, what's your name? We are legion. Come and get her. You won't need to lay hand in this occasion, in this gathering. Last Friday, don't cancel whatever you need to do if it is important to you. But you cannot believe it because you haven't seen it. When you appear, you reveal the work of the darkness. And when the light shines, there is a revelation that exposes. This is what it's saying here. It is a shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret. But everything exposed by the light becomes what? Visible. And everything that is illuminated becomes light. And that is why it is said, wake up, O sleeper, rise up from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Wake up. Because now the point is that you were darkness, now you are light. So let the light shine. You walk into it and let the light in you illuminate your surroundings. And whenever it is that is revealed and manifested becomes light. Talk about the coal, wet coal in the barbecue instrument. The coal is black. By the time the heat of other coals hit it, it ignites, it becomes red. It becomes that spread fire again. That's who you are called to be. That's who I'm called to be. Be careful then how you live. We need to be mindful. Be careful how you live. Not as unwise, but as wise. Making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Everything around you is evil. You need to be discerning to be able to walk through and navigate through. That is why I said that it is winding and long, the part that, because it is broad and straight, that is what you gravitate towards naturally, but you are not called to somebody. I was talking to somebody. And he said that, the wife said that the Lord is laying on my heart that we need to join Fountain. My family people. And the man said, oh, you know, it's just convenient where we worship at. And I said, the road to the kingdom is not convenient. It is long, it is winding, it is narrow. It is broad, it is straight. Everybody goes through it, it is good. Oh, happy, go lucky. But that's not the way to go. What are you investing in? How do you know? Anybody tasted honey? Fresh, undiluted, organic honey. Anybody have anybody tasted it? Oh, I'm sorry for you. You miss it. It comes in the honeycomb. Somebody brought one for me from Mexico just last month. To get that, you have to confront bees. Hi. If one bee you sting, you ask Pastor Mike Ajay, he will tell you that you can go to heaven and come back in a minute if you be. You have to confront bees. You wear some guard uniform, you wear this and go into the house of in the den of lion to be able to get that kind of food. That's why a lot of people mix or they do sugar and they indirectly heat it up and call it honey. The real pure honey, it's not easy work to do. Now, if you know the taste of organic honey, you can put in the effort. If you know the taste of where you're going, every other thing that matters to you will matter no more. No. It is nothing. Romans 2, another aspect that we want to touch before I close. Romans 12:11. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Outdo one another in elevating your partner. Outdo him. Don't say this is an insult. No, just say, hey. Outdo him. He's trying to lift you up. He's trying to give you honor. Give more than that. That's what he's saying. And whatever you do, work at it as if you are working for God, because you are not working for God, for man. That's Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with your whole being for the Lord and not as for men. How did you expect? Because he's the rewarder, he will never fail to reward you. How will you express Joseph in Potiphar's house, under Potiphar, serving God, not serving Potiphar? Because if you want to serve Potiphar, he will be raking the benefits around that are temporary but destructive. But he was serving God. It was a service unto God, not unto Potiphar, because God will be the rewarder. Are you in a toxic work environment? Serve your master. Serve the supervisor. Be truthful. Don't cut corner. Don't turn the time of your resumption. And don't sign up 4 o'clock when you're leaving at 2 o'clock. Serve like God is watching you, but God will reward. If the man refuses to lift you up when it's time, God may take him out because you are serving God under him. These are principles. Micah 6:7. Would the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, with thousands of rivers of oil? Shall I present my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? He has shown you, oh man, what is good. He has shown you. And what does the Lord require from you? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly. Those three. It's not your sacrifice. It's not your ram, not the bullock, not the amount of oil. It's just your simple things. We abandon the simple and we pursue the big one as if, hey, see, there are people that were bringing thousands by their currency then and hundreds. But this lady brought 2 dimes. 2 dimes. And the master that is receiving it all said, she brought the greatest. Calculate I don't know your way of calculating. 2 dimes. You will have $1 million of 2 dimes in $100, in $1,000. But you said these 2 dimes because the calculation is different. It's true, pure spirit.
Thank you for listening to our broadcast here at the Fountain of Life, Grace Springs Church. We pray that you've been encouraged and uplifted by the word. Please visit our website at tfolgs.org. We'd like to invite you to connect with us throughout the week. Join us for Bible study every Monday at 7 p.m. on Zoom and midweek service every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Zoom. If you'd like to give to this ministry, check out our QR code for ways to give. Until we meet again, may God's grace, peace, and blessings be with you.